We just got done talking about Keith Haring on the smartboard, and for today's project, we are going to take our self picture and we are going to create a Keith Haring project. So when you get your picture of yourself back, we are going to cut out the background, so that stuff around us. So I am going to cut around my shoulders or neck or whatever part you see. I'm going to cut around my hair and down to my other shoulder. So some of you might have more shoulder, some of you might just have your neck. I am going to cut out this extra white stuff that I see around my picture. Now I am going to glue this onto the square paper I have. And when I glue, I want to make sure that I use just a little bit of glue, small little dots and dribbles all over the back of my photo. And when I glue, I'm going to try to put this in the middle, and I want it to touch the bottom of the paper. I don't want there to be a space. I have some space on both sides, but none on the bottom. Now we're going to use a lot of color to make rainbow lines around ourselves. So what I mean by that is I am going to follow this shape of my picture with lines. So I'm starting with a green, and I'm trying to have this green, that green marker is icky. Of course I can't find another one right now, so I'm going to cover that up. I'm going to start with this blue color, and I am going to follow this blue, with this blue marker around the shape of my picture. I am laying my marker down on its side so I get a thick line. If you stand your marker up really tall and straight, your line is really thin. If you bring it down, you'll get a nice thicker line. So I think for this project, thick lines work best, and then it actually goes a little faster too. So I follow that whole shape. Now I'm going to switch to a different color. When I switch to this next color, I still want to keep my line thick, so I'm laying the marker down, and I'm trying to color a little bit so I touch that blue line. If they overlap a little bit, that's okay. So I don't want there to be a space between them. I want the colors to touch. So I'm going to keep doing this around my picture so that there's color and color and color, like a rainbow. And I'm going to do this until my coloring touches the corners of the square paper. So if you look at this finished example, I did colors all the way till it touched the corner. You might have to repeat colors. That's okay. So I'm going to continue. When I come back, I'll be ready for the next part. I have finished my rainbow lines around my picture because I know that they have touched the corner on one side, and now I'm ready for the black marker to create these radiating lines. So radiating lines look a lot like the rays of a sun. They're coming right out from the shape. So they're diagonal, and then they turn to almost going horizontal. At the top, they're almost vertical, so they change direction as they go around. So with the Sharpie marker, I like to start at the top where I know that they're almost straight up and down, and then they're going to follow that shape, changing direction. So notice how I'm taking my time and making them completely touch the edge of the paper. They do not have to be just straight lines. You could add a line next to it so that there's two lines together. You could add a wavy line with them. You could add a dotted line, a zigzag line. But what I'm doing is I'm keeping that same pattern. So I have two straight lines and then a wavy line. Two straight lines and then a wavy line. So you're going to follow that pattern all the way around the edge of your paper, making it your nicest, neatest, almost second grade work. When you're finished, they will go in the drying rack.